Okay, and we're live. um, it's been a minute since we've done
It's
this.
been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. How's your? So I think out of the main group of people that we know, like me and you have been doing the 31 days for almost for 12 years. We both didn't do this year.
12 or 13. Well, yeah, I think it was 13 years. It would have been 13 years for me.
yeah. Are you still? Have you been watching still spooky movies for this month or?
I basically have done the 31 days this year, but I haven't recorded a damn thing. You know,
Yeah,
you know.
if you
Yesterday I watched four Tremors movies yesterday.
oh okay. Which ones did you watch?
1 through 4.
Or have you watched any of the other ones, like the ones that aren't SS Wilson ones? I think right.
Yeah, so if you're talking about 5 through 7,
Yeah.
or those are going to be tackled probably within today and the next couple days. I
Okay.
found a I found a 7 movie Blu-ray steelbook of Tremors. It's the
Yeah.
Tremors collection,
I'm
and
I'm
I
like
finally broke into it.
I'm like really jealous of that. I own the Arrow versions of 1 and 2, and I'm hoping they do like 3 and 4 that way as well. Like you know what, as much as like the effects may be a little downgraded, but I still like the stories overall for 3 and 4 quite a bit. Like it's Back to Perfection and was it The Legend Begins? I think that's what the monikers are for the next two. But
Yeah, A Legend Begins. eh,
I
so far, I think it's the weakest of all of them.
I agree, but I what did I always liked how they used technology from the day. That like yeah like I think if it had just a slightly bigger budget and everything, I think it would have been like I think we've been a little bit more maybe higher on some people's lists. But I think I just like just the use of the technology to combat the Tremors, except for that giant punt gun. Like I think that was always kind of like weird to me at the very end.
That's a real gun, dude.
I know it is. I know it is. But it's just like I I wish we would have alluded to like maybe the first movie, like have one of them like fall off a cliff or something, or just
Oh,
something,
yeah.
just some maybe these worms aren't as smart as they think they are. Just like they fell for the trick.
The
They fell for the trick twice.
the thing that kind of bugged me about the fourth movie was there were quite a few inconsistencies considering the first movie.
Oh, okay.
So in the first movie, Michael Gross's character and Reba McEntire's character state that they moved to perfection because of the geological location.
Right.
You know
Mm,
that you know. Of course, in the fourth movie, Burt Gummer's grandfather or great grandfather or whatever
yeah.
came to perfection. 100 years before.
And
Like,
open
just
up
a
the mind.
second. And the other thing that always bothered me about this is the fact that they stayed at the end of the fourth movie. They're like, okay, we're going to do this as long as no one ever tells anybody about the dirt dragons,
Okay.
because no one will ever want to come here. Yeah, but you can't tell me that there aren't going to be legends told down in your family.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, they show up in the very first movie, and people are like, "Oh, okay," And I understand that the first movie is the first movie, and this one comes 3 movies later, but they need to think about these inconsistencies. You
I,
know,
yeah. I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. How does like Bert not know about it? Like in the first movie, like you said, like legends didn't get passed down. Like he should have like known some like even like a line of dialogue would have like made a huge difference. Like maybe it's like, oh, my grandfather was right, and then like it could have been added like what
Well,
is that or whatever.
there's all these. I mean, your family has them, my family has them. The stories in your family
Hmm.
doesn't mean that they're real. It
Right.
just means that It just means that they're stories that you've heard throughout your life. Who's not to say Burt Gummer didn't hear a story, but when they finally see him, he's just kind of like, "Eh?" What are these things? And it's just kind of, I don't know. That's why I think it's kind of the weakest. You know,
I totally agree. Like even with the newer ones, I do like how the graboids are a little bit bigger and a little bit more because they're on a different part of the earth, like on the planet, and so of course they're going to be like a different breed or species of it. It's like it's I do like that. But just a quick blanket, like how statement like do you like the newer ones?
yeah, I've seen I've seen A Cold Day in Hell,
Okay.
and I've seen part of Bloodlines, but I
o-
don't think I've seen Shrieker Island.
Okay.
You know, um, it was one of those things where they were showing it like on sci-fi or something like that, and Bloodlines, and I caught it like halfway through it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've always liked the Tremor movies, and I kind of watched a little bit of it, and I'm like, okay, you know, just what happens. I was at Walmart, and they had a seven. Here's the downfall of this. So they have a 7 movie collection steelbook.
Hmm.
It's a regular size steelbook.
Yeah, it's kind of like I bet it's up
It,
here
it's
probably like this, or they're stacked on both sides.
actually no,
Oh, really?
no. It's a regular size steelbook, and so the first 2 movies are on one disc. The second two
Uh,
movies are on one disc, right?
okay.
And it's got a flipper in the middle of it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you got the first 2 movies. You open a steelbook up, and on this side
Hmm.
is the first 2 movies. On the first side of the flipper are 3 and 4. You flip that over, there's 5, and on the back is 6.
Oh, that's interesting how they did
Oh,
that.
yeah, but where's 7? 7 comes in a little sleeve by
No.
itself. Yeah, by itself. Yeah, they. I mean, all they needed to do was put 5 and 6 on a movie together or on a disc together, and they would have
Yeah.
had enough room. But
That that,
they.
that hurts my soul right there.
I mean, it's just kind of sitting there in like one of those paper sleeves that
Yeah.
that's and it doesn't bug me, but I mean, when I bought it, I was kind of like, oh, cool. I wonder how they get all 7.
Yeah.
Then I open it up and go, okay, someone didn't really think this through, you know, but it still looks really cool.
That's
I
great.
got 7 movies and a steel book.
Um, I'm gonna have to maybe head up to head, well, maybe not because I went to Walmart like last week or so, and they've already like stripped the movie section, getting ready for all new
You were
stuff.
saying that, yeah.
And oh man, like they still have, and the thing is, I don't know if you've seen them yet, but like they released the horror still books this year, like the with the new artwork and everything. That it was like Leatherface and
Which
the
one?
three Leatherface.
Oh,
Um, what's the other one? The 3D Chainsaw movie. Who's
right.
next? And something else, like a couple others.
You're next. You're
Yeah,
next. I spit on your grave. Leatherface. Texas Chainsaw 3D. And there's like 2 or 3 others.
Hannibal, I think, or Hannibal Rising,
Was it
and
Hannibal Rising?
yeah,
Hmm.
because it
Okay.
has that goofy mask on the front, his samurai mask on the front, and something else. I think there's one. There might be one more. Oh, Wolf Creek, I think, because it has the hunter on the front as well. I think.
Okay, yeah, Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek, I have seen. Yeah, I don't think I've seen Hannibal Rising, but I mean, there's a few others that. But yeah, they I've seen. I saw those for the first time like back in July.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. I've when they first announced it, it was like at the tail end of September. That's when I first seen them. It's like, or at least that's when it finally hit my radar, I guess, or whatever. So, but yeah, like I was kind of disappointed in this year's steelbooks. That was for sure because those are the ones that, and since Best Buy's gone doesn't sell movies anymore, that my steelbook buying has like dropped dramatically.
I I don't buy. I mean, I usually don't buy steel books,
Mm,
but every now and then it's like there'll be like Walmart has like so at my Walmart it's such a small section of movies.
yeah.
It's basically an end cap, right? And on one side of the end cap is it's steel books like
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's where I bought that.
I saw that one. I never did grab it. Yeah,
It's nice. It comes with a. It came with
but
a post.
on it came with a what?
It came with a
Oh,
poster.
poster.
It was and like something
Oh,
else.
okay.
Uh, yeah, I think that's the first steelbook I bought in a long time, but that wasn't from Best Buy. But go ahead. Sorry.
But, but on the end cap, they have like steel book. I mean, at least for Halloween, they have steel
Yeah.
books of like Tremors and stuff like that. And this year, they've been re-releasing in Walmart at least the Universal Monsters steel books.
Oh. So so here's the thing. I think I showed you. We'll pick up the Wolfman one. So do they look like this? Like that?
Yes, they're exactly that. Yeah,
Yeah. Like do they have like the slip sleeve and everything? Like
I don't know to be honest because I don't own any of them.
okay.
I haven't unpackaged them. You know,
So those
but
are so those are actually Best Buy exclusives. Like they,
I know. I remember when Best Buy put those out.
yeah, I was so happy because that was one of the first things that I bought with when I started working at my job. I wanted to splurge, and it was like around October, and me and Ariel haven't been together all that like probably not like was it March, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, 8 months. So, and that was the first time I really like splurged on myself, and I bought all these all these steel books. Like, and they're fantastic. The only one they didn't have was the Hunchback. That was the only one that they didn't do for a steel book, or not Hunchback. Well, that and Phantom of the Opera.
But
Like,
lately they've been. I mean, like every week, there's been like a different. You know, they'll still have a lot of the same ones, like
mm,
Bride of Frankenstein or The Mummy or something like that. But they're peppering in like other steelbooks, like the Tremors one. Dude, I saw that Tremors one there 2 or 3 weeks ago when I told you about it, and I grabbed it.
yeah.
I've never seen it since.
Oh wow. So that's
And it
kind of
was like
how
the only it was like the only copy that was there at the time.
that I'm I'm kicking myself because they had a long time like right after the final Sharknado movie came out, they had a steel book of all of them, and I should have grabbed it, but now it's like it's a pretty it's not too pricey, but it's enough to where like nah, I'm not gonna break my wallet for that movie, but it's still like a pretty nice steelbook collection. Like it's probably laid out the exact same way the Tremors one, because there's like there's six. Well, maybe not. Maybe, but it's pretty close. Six movies. And a steelbook. I'm like, I probably should have bought it, but I'm like, nope. I talked myself out of it as per usual.
Yeah, I I I, I learned my lesson years ago. It's in one of my videos. I don't remember which one, but years ago I learned my lesson that I'm like, oh, I'll just wait until that one goes down, and I
Yeah.
I didn't buy it, and then like, oh, I know what it was. It was it was during a Black Friday. It was coming up to a Black Friday, and it was Ghost Whisperer.
Okay.
And I saw Ghost Whisperer at a Walmart, and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good price. I'll wait till that goes on sale on Black Friday. Never saw it again.
Ah,
And I'm like, okay, well, that just sucks. And then I just finally bought it off of like Amazon,
mm-hmm.
for a decent price. I think it was probably close to the price that I would have paid at Walmart, if I'd have bought it when I saw it.
Gotcha.
And so I finally got it, but it was one of those things where I'm like, that's it. If I see something and I want it, I'm just gonna freaking grab it. Yeah, I'm not.
No, I. That's how I have been with some of my figures that I've been collecting. There was a set. I have every other set in these. Like it's called the Blood and Guts line for AEW figures, and I'm like, there's one that I didn't pull the trigger on. I'm like, I'll just wait until when it drops in prices. It usually does. Nope, it didn't drop in price, and it only skyrocketed because all the people bought it up, and now it's selling upwards. I think it's like a
That sucks.
$70 set, but they like, you know what? Let's add a one to it. Let's make it $170 or
Oh my
whatever.
god.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm waiting for like all these people to like just. I know they're probably waiting for that one sucker who will buy it, but I'm like, I'm gonna play. I'm playing the long game on this one.
Yeah, that's
Which
the one you got to play the long game on. Eventually, you will. I mean, I also do believe that. Um, then this has happened to me. I also believe that if you didn't buy it, you weren't meant to have it at the time because there will be
right,
a better deal somewhere down the road.
right. I think I ended up buying.
Don't laugh at me. I was once you.
I think. um.
The Simpsons came out in 2007, and they released one.
Oh, that's
They
funny.
released these pins,
Where'd you get it from?
and it comes with like, well, they turned 7-Elevens into Quickie Marts back when the
Oh,
movie came out,
I totally forgot they did that. I don't have any
and
seven.
I bought this, and it still works. I've had it since then, and it's got like 5 sayings on it.
Ooh, lunchtime. Well, today's the day for Homer J. Wow! This is the greatest day of my life!
And then
Boring!
That's great.
it's the same battery is in that thing.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's it's battery life. Okay, so as per usual with our well, obviously we'll kind of intertwine some other things, but we'll start off. I have questions for you. Like it's kind of like I kind of did a little Halloween theme since it is the spooky season.
Whatever's good for you.
Yeah. So our first what's it called? Category is called Into Battle. Okay. So I'm giving you two choices from a horror icon's weaponry, and we're going to pick up which one do you think we would do fare the best with in battle if we were going up against, a horde of zombies or something. So, uh,
Okay. I see
okay,
where we're going.
so I went with the more obvious ones for the first one. Would you? How about Freddy's glove or Jason's machete? Like, which one do you think you would take into battle?
Jason's machete, just because of the reach.
Yes, I figured that's what um I would as well. You have to have some range a little bit. Freddy obviously is more up close and personal, but it's
Freddy's a hand to hand combat kind of person,
right.
and you don't want to get hand to hand combat with a horde of zombies.
It's
You know,
that's a quick way to end. That's a quick way to end up as a zombie as yourself. So,
yeah.
which one do you think is more iconic though? The glove or the machete?
Man, that's a tough question. That's a
Yeah,
really tough question because, I mean, honestly, anyone that goes through a hardware store or just anything and they see a machete, they instantly think Friday the 13th.
right.
You know, but when you walk through a hardware store and you see a glove, you don't instantly think Freddy Krueger. You need the straight razors attached to the brass knuckles and all that to give it. I'm gonna go Freddy on this, or I'm gonna go machete on this one.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go Freddy. Just because I think I think it's because the machete is a little bit more everyday, but I think the glove is definitely unique enough to be.
I do think the glove is more unique. I will give you that, but I just think when you say iconic, which one? It's I mean Sting or Hulk Hogan. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like it's icon versus icon, regardless. Okay,
you
so
know,
even though they are basically the same weapon, but it's the person who wields it. It's That's what makes it different.
right.
It Ash's chainsaw or Leatherface's chainsaw.
I'm gonna go Leatherface. Leatherface never seemed to have a problem.
Yeah,
That boy, he knew how to take care of, you know,
yeah.
I mean, his equipment.
Well, yeah, because obviously, he's a family of cannibals, so he knows he wants his equipment to be top notch, not fail on him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, as much as I like Ash's hand chainsaw, but I think like Leatherface's chainsaw is a little bit more, back to iconic, is because even when they use the he just knows how to wield it better as well.
Well,
And
here's the thing. You're running through the woods and there's two chainsaws, right?
right,
And there's ashes and there's Leatherfaces. If you pick up ashes, you can't use it. You need to have that stump to
right,
use it.
the
That
two hand,
stump
yeah,
is part of the chainsaw.
right. Oh yeah, so I didn't even think about that way.
So
I was thinking
Leatherface.
for the wielder itself. So yeah, the practicality. We'll have to give that one the Leatherface for sure. Yeah, because you need that back handle. The for stability. Well,
Yeah.
that was a good. Okay, so this last one, I was trying to think of there's other weapons other than knives and power equipment and stuff like that, and there's also the supernatural powers and weapons. So would you want Leprechaun's magic or Wishmaster's magic? The Jinn.
I Leprechaun's a cool little monster, I guess you could say. He's a cool little guy, but I honestly want the Jinn.
Yeah,
The Jinn is a little twisted.
yeah,
That's what I the,
yeah,
the Leprechaun, man. The Leprechaun's just kind of like, oh, you took my gold. You turn into, the Jinn's like, dude, I'll give you a wish. You wish for $1 million? Okay, here's $1 million. And he drops it on you and squashes you. He's a
right.
little he's a little bent, and I like that about the Jinn.
I like the Wishmaster movies a lot. Like I think it's definitely doesn't get talked about enough because
Yeah, true.
uh in my opinion, like I watched the kill count on the Dead Meat channel, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't thought about the Wishmaster movies in like years. But I'm like, I totally forgot how good those movies are. They're fun, like you said. That's what makes the movie fun. Those movies fun is that how is he going to twist
How's he
the
gonna screw this person over?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that first movie has like a lot of people, has like what, Tony Todd and Kane
Has
Hodder.
four icons in it. Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, um, I believe Robert Englund shows up in it,
Yeah,
and there's a fourth one, and I can't,
yeah, I can't think of
like you
it.
said, Kane Hodder,
Yeah,
Kane
so
Hodder, Tony Todd, Robert Englund, and someone else. But it's just the most bizarre thing.
yeah, and they're just like, and they're out of makeup too. So it's like they're going up. That's what's fun. Like, is like they're just like they're playing characters, and I'm like, that's funny. Just seeing them. So I have to. I know I have to agree with you. Well, it's because like I think the Leprechaun's magic is a little bit more inconsistent, um and he's a little bit more jokey about it, but with his magic,
Yeah,
but and I think that's like if you're going, like I said, if we're going in the battle, like you're going to want, and I know there's that caveat of him twisting the wish on you, but it's like if if you're as good as say the Jinn and Wishmaster, you can get it done. You can probably cause some serious havoc. Like you could be the wizard of the group, you know.
all you have to do is release I mean, honestly, if you're going into battle, all you got to do is just tell the Jinn, go over there and offer each one of those guys a wish.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
If,
basically
if,
yeah.
if you have control over him, if you have control or domain over him, right? And you're not going to get, you're not wishing this. You just say, just
Mm,
go over there and offer each one of them a wish. Battle's over, dude.
yeah. No, this Troy comes to mind. It's just like we'll send out our best, and you send out your best, and just like okay, like
Okay.
yeah,
It
like
might it might take a day for the magic to take place, but you're
right,
gonna lose.
exactly. Or I would like if you're really someone's like I'm sorry, buddy, we're gonna have to sacrifice one of our own to make a wish. It's like wish for that team to blow up instantly or whatever, and just like all right,
Yeah.
and just like, but obviously like it'll come back onto the dude who made the wish, but it's just like that was a risk they were willing to sacrifice. Like that also that's like the just battle sometimes. Like there has to be sacrifices. Yeah.
I will say this though, when it comes to the Wishmaster movies, I do like so there's four movies. I like them
Mhm.
all. I don't have any problems with them, but I do think that the makeup for the Jinn in the first two movies was far superior than the makeup in the last two movies.
Yes, I totally agree. Like I like especially when he gets into like when he's evolving or whatever over the
Yeah.
movie. I like that's like top notch. I like holy crap. Like and the thing is, the actor I can't think of the actor's name behind the Jin is like he's good.
Andrew Divoff.
Yeah, like he's like he doesn't get talked about enough either. Like
No.
I like he has that nice and that's his actual voice too, right? Like I don't think they mess with it too much. Um, like but he just has like a presence on screen that some of the other icons may not have. He's just he carries himself a little differently, and that's what's really cool about him.
Very true.
So yeah, like um, I'm trying to think. Before we move, I want to try to break up the questions a little bit so we can go through from topic to topic. So is there, like you mentioned Black Friday?
Yeah.
Are you? Do you think, how do you think Black Friday is going to turn out this year? Like it's
Last year sucked.
yeah, no, really, like it really. Me and Ariel, we that was one of our things that we like to do. Like we would go to Walmart like the day after and just like clean house. Like sometimes,
Yeah.
and like when we did that the next year, um, it was just like there's nothing. Like I think you got what, Clerks 3. I think you got that last year, right?
Think got
Yeah.
clips 3. Yeah. Not a whole
Um,
lot. I mean,
right. I didn't buy any movies last year. That's the thing. I'm like, that's like I know, and that's what sucks is that like Best Buy was my go-to place. I would usually walk out of there with at least 6 movies, like like varying
oh,
de-
I
varying degree.
walk out there with like one giant bag with like 60 movies.
Uh, no, like, and that's what's like really what I'm kind of down on this year's Black Friday. I'm like, well, crap. Like obviously, I think me and Aaron is going to upgrade our TV. I think that's our biggest thing that we're going after, or maybe a tablet for Arlo. But I'm like, I have like no movies that I'm like, I like normally like me and you would like, oh, that movie's gonna be definitely for Black Friday, and this
Yeah.
too. Now it's like like you like no, like none at all. Like me and you would like specifically wait for Black Friday for a majority of the movies that came out, and it was like, and that's when we would clean house.
That's true. Yeah.
And now it's like I've like
And, usually,
go ahead. I've just fallen
well,
out of movies on Black Friday anymore.
yeah. Usually it's like for the longest time there was a page called blackfriday.com and blackfriday.net, and you could look at the ads early and see what
Right.
movies were going to be were going to be coming out. And it's like, oh, Target's going to have this, I got to go there and get that. And Walmart's going to have this, and Best Buy's going to have the Lego movie for $4. And you
Right.
know and I haven't even bothered looking this year. I mean, it's just there are movies I want to see and there are movies I want to get. But last year at my Walmart, uh, I talked to someone and I go, so what's going on, man? Where are the movies? They're supposed to be on sale. And he goes, oh yeah, we didn't do that this year. And it's like, dude, you don't. Are you stupid? Are
Yeah.
you? I mean, just because streaming is available doesn't mean everybody does streaming. I'm sorry, I still don't stream.
I
It.
I
I know you. I know there's things that you do.
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. There are people that do that, but dude, you don't get everything with streaming. You don't get the special features. You don't get the commentaries. You don't get
Right.
the you know. And
That's
honestly, when they take that thing down from whatever streaming service it's on,
hmm
it's gone.
like like okay.
Whereas when I look at your background, you own all that crap.
Yeah, like case of like I in your comment about how I don't know how that got brought up, but like prophecy, I know there's three, like what, two more, but it's just like you don't get this kind of cool
Yeah.
stuff anymore. Like you would never see this in like a Walmart or anything like that. Like you have to buy them offline, but which like I kind of hate sometimes. Like I like to like the whole
Don't
fun
buy the other two.
going into a store and finding that move that you weren't expecting to find. Like
Yeah.
crap, that's awesome. Like it's coming home with me kind of moment. So, um, do you, speaking of commentaries, I know I'm trying, like, do you have like a horror commentary that you like that's on a movie?
So I don't consider this movie a horror movie, but it's
Yeah.
probably one of the best commentaries, and that's The Thing.
Oh, I think. The Thing's a horror movie.
Not see. This is where me and like everybody else disagrees. It's a sci-fi film.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
It came from outer space. It's an alien from outer space that infects people, and it's a sci-fi film.
It
And
is.
I see
I
a lot of people go. I see a lot of people go. Well, it's a sci-fi horror film. No, it's a sci-fi film. Sci-fi is its own genre. For some reason, somewhere along the lines of the last 15 years, part of the same genre. It's like it's a subgenre of horror. It's not.
no
Sci-fi is sci-fi. Star Trek is Star Trek. You know,
right.
and Twilight Zone is Twilight Zone.
So yeah, I okay. I I think I will agree with you on that. But like I like if I was going to put this on my shelf, I would definitely put it with the horror movies because like when I think of sci-fi, like Star Trek and whatever Star Wars and stuff, that would definitely be in its own section as well. But yeah, but the commentary for those with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell is
Yeah.
like fantastic. Yeah, uh I was actually going to probably lean towards that one as well. I mentioned in the stream with my friend Michael um last week was the commentaries for the Resident Evil movies are pretty fun because they end up just like crapping
Oh,
all over some of the scenes and everything, and I thought that was pretty fun. Or even Slither, like have,
another good
have you,
one is Bill Moseley and is Sid Haig and Bill Moseley on Devil's Rejects.
oh really? I haven't heard that one in a long time, so I can't recall anything from that one.
Yeah.
Um, so on Slither, they have a brand new audio commentary, and they are just like picking on each other the entire thing. They're obviously talking about the movie, but they're picking on each other. It's Michael Rooker, James Gunn, and whatever his name is, Nathan Fillion. They are just picking on each other, and it is so fun to listen to. It's I recommend that one as well. If you're
That's like
look,
The Simpsons. I don't know if you ever listened to a Simpsons commentary.
mm-mm, I don't own anything Simpsons related.
Oh, dude, I love The Simpsons. I own like most of the seasons that have been released. I think I'm missing like 2 seasons,
Oh, okay.
but it's hilarious, man. I mean, if they get actors in there that they'll get if they get like Yeardley Smith in there, Yeardley Smith will start talking, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, they'll just tell Lisa shut up, you know. Uh, uh,
Funny.
are are there been times where like again, Yeardley Smith has been there, and she has she just gets talked over. I mean, she
Oh,
hasn't said anything for like 15 minutes. And they're like, Lisa, are Yeardley, you haven't said anything, and she's like, well, I haven't had a chance, because everyone's talking about the episode, and they're hilarious to listen to.
that's funny. Okay, so our next group of questions is the category is called "Will I Survive?" So I'm giving you like either a franchise or a creature that's within a franchise that you think you
Okay.
could survive the longest, or you have like the highest probability at least lasting longer than the average schmo,
Right.
So, okay, we're gonna start with some creatures. How long do you think? Which one do you think you could survive the longest with? The critters or gremlins running around? They're both
Uh,
very, I know, very mischief and very dangerous in their
so
own.
the critters don't. I mean, the critters don't really have a weakness. They're always hungry, and I mean, basically, unless you have explosives,
Right.
you know. So I mean that was always the thing about them. It's like, but Gremlins, I could last to the end of the movie with Gremlins. I mean,
So
don't get them wet. Don't get them wet. Don't feed them after midnight, right?
right,
But what's the one thing that kills them?
kind of
Sunlight,
like
bright light, bright light. All I got to do is sit in a bright lit room for and I'm safe.
so yeah, like I think I would survive longer with gremlins than critters because critters like yeah, like you need explosives, but I think some of them are susceptible to some gunfire. But like I don't own a gun.
And neither do I. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, they'll eat anything. That's the thing with critters. It's like
right,
their appetite is insatiable. So I mean, unless you have nitrogen and all this other stuff to make
right.
a homemade bomb, and then they turn into one of those giant rolling balls. You
That,
know,
that poor guy who just gets like,
I love the critters movies.
oh, I do too. Um, but yeah, I think my chance of survival as well as with the gremlins is just because like they have they're weak. They are very weak, but they're very like they're just like just like grim like the critters. Their strength is in numbers, but you have the occasional like what stripe or like are a little bit smarter than the oh. Have you seen the new set that's coming out for Arrow?
Dude, I have the old I have the set from Shout
Maybe
Factory, so I don't care.
I never owned them, so like that's why I was kind of like it really struck like popped out at me.
But
I
no,
was like, oh,
I haven't seen the Arrow one. But
looks
yeah,
pretty cool. Artwork's
dude,
really
I
nice.
finally got the one that they had this Shout Factory one at the Walmart, not the one that's like not far from me, but the one that's a little bit farther. They had that one there, and they had the Fly. And I'm like,
Mm,
dude, that's one of those things where it's like it's in my head. I'm like, I see it, I'm grabbing it.
right.
You know?
Alrighty. So we both agree that our chances of survivability is highest with the gremlins. uh,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
so here is which franchise do you think you would like? Like, do you think you could last the longest? Friday the 13th or Halloween?
Well, which one do I think I could last the longest is probably Halloween because I'm not related to Michael Myers.
Well, that's just all right. All right well,
No, I know. I'm just
I'll,
that
no,
I
that's like
that was the joke. That was the
I know
joke answer. Honestly, Friday the 13th.
because you don't go to
And I
camp.
say Friday the 13th. Huh? Well, because the thing is, like, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest and we did a lot of camping. So I'm used to the outdoors. And even though Jason is depending on what movie we're in, if we're in the first movie, it's just the mother.
I just said Friday the 13th or
Not,
Halloween.
not,
So it could just the first movies, I guess.
yeah.
We'll just
So if it's just the mother, if it's just the mother, there's nothing supernatural about it. All I gotta do is stay away from the woman driving a jeep.
so like here's the thing. I was actually putting some thought into this one. It not so much like the first one was just kind of like a fun answer or fun, but this one was like so I was like, how long would I survive? Like the thing is, I would probably be that poor schmo who would just come up onto Michael or the mother by accident. It's not even like Jason too. It's just like here I'm just like walking down the street and just like oh like crap, I walked in. I should have turned left when I meant to go
I
right.
could see that.
Yeah,
I could see myself actually stumbling into that shed in the second
oh yeah,
movie where
like
where Jason has his mom's head.
yeah,
Because I'm that kind of person out in the woods.
exactly. I would just
So
be like on Halloween. I'd just be walking around town and just be like if I was in these universes, just like because Halloween in the Halloween in the movie is drastically different than Halloween like now today. So like you would be walking around just in a mask,
You're
or
basically so you're putting yourself in Ben Tramer's position.
exactly. I would be run down, blown up.
Because Ben Tramer was the one that was wearing the Michael mask before, and he got killed.
Right. But he had blonde hair though, right? That one.
Well, but I'm just saying. I mean, he was wearing the mask,
Yeah.
even though everyone was looking for Michael. But he was just kind of like it was just a random mask that they got at he got at, like the store or whatever, and
Right. So
you find out later.
that's what I was kind of like thinking. Like I'm like I may not be like a character in these movies, but I'm like if I was in these universes, I would just be like, just a random backpacker, like because that has happened in the Friday the 13th movies where they just got a random dude who's camping out in the woods and they end up
Yeah,
or they just get like like massacred. I'm like, well, that'd probably be me. Like you know what? I'm gonna go camping this weekend, and
but there's also a good chance that you could be one of the people at the diner
right, like
that no one knows what the hell's going on.
right. Uh, one scrawny, I'm going with you guys, and he gets left at the diner, and it's like he survives. He survives. What part two? Right? I think that's it. That's the diner one.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for like Friday the 13th or for Halloween, it'd probably be the Ben Tramer thing. Like I'm out there, like you know what? I'm going to dress up, and like this is a cool mask. Oh, it's a Shatner mask. And like let's put it on and let's head on out. And
Shatner.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. And that would just be my luck. I would legit just be like, I would be that poor
Yeah.
schmo who would just get murdered. Just be trying to have a good night out or camping with somebody and just like, this is what I get for branching out, I guess.
Right.
So, okay. Now here's a little bit more of a, I don't know how to put this one. So I'm just gonna. I'm okay. I'm just gonna tell you. Which one do you think you would last the longest as are the villain running around, or Evil Bong or the Ginger Dead Man?
Be honest, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Evil Bong. I never got into. I mean, I never got into those movies, so I don't know a whole lot about it. So I'd probably be the first one to die in that film because
So
I have absolutely no knowledge.
okay, so it's
You know,
basically what happens in the Evil Bong
it's an
movie.
Evil Bong. I get
Yeah, like
it.
they order a bong out of the yellow pages essentially, and I don't think it's an actual yellow page, but it's like the like out of a magazine or whatever, and then the bong shows up, and it like if you like smoke from it, it transports you into the bong world, and then they kind of then she kills you, and she kind of like traps your soul with inside her, and that allows her to get stronger. But like that's the premise of the first movie, and then it just goes like out of nowhere from like you get King Bong, you get like alien bongs, you get like then you get the ginger weed man at some point, and it's just like it's legit like I don't think I would survive either one of these, like honestly, like just because like I the rules are so like you want to talk about inconsistent rules, these movies would definitely be
Oh yeah. Um, Ginger Dead Man. Now, Ginger. Okay, so I know I would die. I'd be the first one to die in Evil Bong. Um, Ginger Dead Man. I have a feeling I'd make it halfway through the film, and then I'd be like, "Huh, dude, I'm gonna survive," and then I would die.
yeah you'd
especially
be
if it's especially if it's Gary Busey still doing the voice,
yeah
you know, because well, we all know how stable he is.
well Yes, I'm watching. That's honestly that's probably one of the most saddest things I like for an actor for me because the thing is Gary Busey was actually a really good actor in my
He
opinion. Like
was.
I
Yeah.
like loved him as what was his name Sebastian in a what's his name? No, Jock. What I can't remember his name in Lethal Weapon. Um,
Oh, right. In Lethal Weapon. Yeah. No, I think it was Sebastian or Simon, something like that.
yeah,
But yeah.
I know it starts with an S at least, and then he was fantastic in that. Um, like even like I loved him in Point Break. Like him and Keanu Reeves really like worked well off one another. You know, like they didn't like they had some like
They had
really good,
great charisma together.
yes, like because like Gary Busey's a little bit more like out there, and then Keanu's a little bit more reserved. But it's like they really meshed off each other really really well. Um, Book I wish I could buy is Point Break. Just because I like. Um, but yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know I don't know if you remember this or not, but what happened the reason Gary Busey's so messed up now is a motorcycle
Yeah,
accident.
see, that's I think that's what people forget is
It
that
scrambled his eggs big time.
exactly, and he's never been right since. But it's just like I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like because I know he gets made fun of a lot, and like you kind of forget that he was a very good actor, and like I know he's kind of like goofy
Oh,
now.
dude, the
I,
Buddy Holly story.
oh yeah,
You know, he was in the Guns of the Magnificent Seven. You know, the fourth movie of the
oh
Magnificent Seven movies. You know, that was the one with George Kennedy as Chris.
okay,
So well, it goes Yul Brynner. Oh no, it goes Yul Brynner, George Kennedy, Lee Van Cleef. That's
okay,
right. It's hilarious because the character Chris goes from looking like Yul Brynner to being kind of like a little more stocky, stoutly,
yeah,
like with George Kennedy, and then all of a sudden Lee Van Cleef, who looks like
neither one of
like a
them.
damn, you know,
Yeah, but
and it just, but yeah, Gary Busey is a very good actor. He really, I agree with you. Point Break, Buddy Holly story. He did a great job as the bad guy and Lethal Weapon. And it is a sad thing that of what happened to him. But hey, that'll teach you not to wear a helmet.
right, like it's like prime, like it's a good PSA on that one. Like wear a helmet. Oh, sorry, man. So yeah, those are. So we definitely like. I just put that one at just because like I didn't know if you've seen either one of them.
I
And
love the Ginger Dead Man movies. Like I said, I've never seen any of the evil, but with the exception of Kevin Smith movies, stoner
mhm.
humor is not my.
Okay,
I like Kevin Smith movies because it's not just about getting stoned.
right.
You know, I mean, there's a lot more to it than just, than pot humor, and I've never been into pot. I've never indulged. So that's the thing that kind of bugs me about some horror films where they're like there's always got to be a trope of like the stoner dude. I'm like, God, I hope he dies first.
That's fine. No, it's like uh, that's pretty funny. Um, so well, I got some other question. Okay, so this question actually, so these aren't like these are legit questions. Like I know that's how I usually end these little questionnaires. Is that we have the worst and the scariest. So we're going to start with I have two categories for the worst. Like who do you think would fit this the best or the worst? Like who do you think is the worst final girl. This question got raised to me in the stream with my friend Michael.
Ooh.
We're talking about this, and I'm just like, who is the worst final girl? Like, because like,
Who is the worst final girl?
yeah, like his, he like obviously they have to survive, but like, who just sort of like, I'm like, that is like really tough. Like, we may not even be able to answer this one right now, but it's just like, I've been racking my brain. I'm like, who, like, if they do survive the first movie, they usually get killed in the next one, like say like Friday the 13th Part 1, and then it goes into 2, or like so I don't really count that because they're moving on from that character. But it's like, I'm just trying to think of like a movie by itself, who would be the worst. And I'm just like, that's tough. That's, to me, that's tough because they
I kind of have an answer,
okay.
but
I really do not have an answer, but my friend Michael, I'm hoping to ask him that too before this month is over, because he's the one who raised that question to me. But anyways, who do you like? Just maybe I'll think of one when you talk.
Sally Hardesty, the
Oh,
original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
okay,
And basically, because by the time the movie's over, she really hasn't done anything to survive except run.
okay,
You know,
no,
whereas you see in some movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Heather Langenkamp is more of a warrior
mm-hmm.
type final girl. She's fighting back. Um, Sally Hardesty didn't really fight back. She basically sacrificed her brother and her
Franklin,
3 friends. You know, and at the end of the movie, she's all like, she's all lost. I mean, she didn't lose her mind, but she's a little crazy, and
she did.
she basically gets written off by the time the second movie comes out. They don't really talk about. I mean, they do. I mean, Dennis Hopper's character is like, my niece Sally, went crazy or whatever,
Yeah,
but still, I mean,
she got lucky.
so I'm gonna say Sally Hopper. Yeah, basically.
Like, Leatherface was going to run her down to the end of the road, regardless. Like, if that truck wasn't there, like, so she, yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. I didn't think of I didn't think of that one at all, because I just didn't, because I think she just got lucky. Like you were saying, I was like, in my eyes, a final girl who is someone who like puts up a fight and
Puts
then
up more of a fight.
and
Yeah.
make the end. Yeah. Or like at some point in the movie where like all odds are against her, she comes out on top regardless of like of her skill level or knowledge or whatever. She just happens to like not get lucky, but she manages like to find whatever is inside her to like to come
Right.
across.
The warrior.
Yeah.
The warrior. Yeah.
And so, like, to me, that's actually a really good answer. Like, as much as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is iconic and legendary in the world of horror, it's like you don't. I don't think she really does get mentioned in like screen, like the final girl
No,
conversation.
she gets. It's hilarious how much she gets left out, because everyone's like, well, Laurie Strode was the first final girl. No, dude, she wasn't the first final girl. The first final girl was Sally Hardesty. And I think the reason that she gets left out is because she is a really weak final girl.
So you know what? That's actually a really good answer. I think that, because like and then they did. Did you ever watch the Netflix Chainsaw Massacre movie?
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, I like it.
like, did you like what they did with that character when she came back? Like, I think how she just kind of like comes in and gets taken out as quickly, not too quickly, but like decent amount. Where like Leatherface just like, I don't know, like basically like, I don't know who you are. Do you that way, or do you think he recognized her, or do you think it was just a person standing in his way, kind of thing?
I think was more or less just a person standing in the way. You know, it's
Yeah.
like Leatherface. Leatherface. I don't know if I mean. I don't know if the character of Leatherface actually takes all the information in. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, you're Max. No, you're a dude in my way. That's I need food. Burn.
Right. Like
You know.
Jason will, I think Jason will recognize somebody, like obviously Freddy and Michael, but I think Leatherface is like strict, like I'm
He's
you're in my
just a
way.
rabid dog, dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm actually kind of think I can't. I'm gonna have to think hard on that one for myself because I legit can't think of, like, I think that may be a very good answer. Is Sally from, just because, like, and I don't even, I'm not trying to, like, obviously we're not trying to like downplay her surviving the movie, like,
No,
but it's just like in terms of like the what people think of Finer Girls, I think she is definitely like at the bottom for sure. Like, yeah, she did survive the movie, but like she, like, her, what she went through went by, like, like you said, like her friends probably would have, her friends got taken out pretty quick, and Franklin didn't make it out of the wheelchair, like she didn't even attempt with Franklin, and she just,
yeah,
and then,
bummer about Franklin.
yeah, and
I actually think Franklin's probably one of the most hated characters of all time in all horror.
so here's a fun fact, a fun story. um my mom is named Sally, okay, and obviously, and my last name is James, and so, like, Frank James, the gun, like the James gang kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
What my grandpa, what I've been told, my grandpa wanted to name me, and so, like, obviously no, that didn't happen, but it was just like, I don't know if you ever have gone through this, but like I've gotten to the point where I obviously go back and forth to call my mom, and I call her by her first name, and so her name. That's when I first started calling her name by her first name, like, when he goes, when he's constantly like, Sally, Sally,
Oh,
just, and that's what I would do to my mom, and
yeah.
she's like, what, Franklin? And so that's like, so I'm like, I'm calling my mom by her real name, but I'm not really.
But you,
I'm
yeah,
referencing the movie at the same time, and, like, I think my name is actually Franklin in her phone or something like that. So it's just like, um,
that's hilarious. I love that about that. That's good. Yeah.
my friend Spencer, did you? He just messaged me. I seen it popped up. Like the one, you seen the first Terrifier movie, right?
Yes. Yes.
He mentioned that his I think his choice would be the girl who they were building up to be the final girl, and they kill her off. And I'm just,
Uh,
oh, I can see that one too. That's actually a pretty good answer. Like,
but they
because you,
killed her off, so she's not a final girl.
right, like, well, they were built, but even the final girl ends up getting mangled anyway. So because she's on that newscast with her eyes and jaw missing and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So, like, okay, so yeah, she ends up being, oh, that's a good one, because she ends up being going insane because of it. So, she survived, but like her sister and her sister friend went through a lot before she even like got there, because she was supposed to come pick them up, if I do remember, and then while she's on her way to pick
Right.
those two up, she ends up inadvertently getting the friend and her sister killed, and then she ends up getting injured herself. So I'm like, okay, that's actually a pretty good one if you really think about it. She technically is a final girl because she survives the movie, but it's just like she causes a lot of damage inadvertently by being
That's
slow.
true. I'm
So
still going with Sally, but
no,
mainly because Sally, like I said before, Sally just doesn't. She doesn't really fight back. She's
oh,
there.
right. Even even
She just
that part,
happens to be in a bad situation,
right.
and
Ooh, I'm
I
just
mean,
staring.
basically the whole thing, the whole premise for Texas Chainsaw is the fact that people are digging up the graves, and so Franklin and his sister Sally and their three friends go out there to make sure that their grandfather's grave hasn't been messed with. And
Right.
along the way, they meet these nutballs,
The
and Sally
Sawyers
lives.
or the Sawyers or Sawyers, what do you call them? Yeah. I think honestly, I think that is a really good answer. I really think so. that I'm going to have to I'm just going to have to agree with you on that because that is a very good answer. So
Well,
so
let's find out what your friend Mike says, and when you tell
yeah,
him.
like once we do, hopefully here we'll do a show with him later. I think maybe Halloween night. Hopefully. Um. So here, who do you think is the worst villain in horror?
So just a second. Now, okay, so we're just doing worst right now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you said when you started this, you said who is the best and worst, and so we didn't do the
Oh,
best final girl.
I said scariest. Those are just like I was just telling you what the next two categories are. Sorry.
Okay.
That's my my blunder there. So yeah, I'm just doing these just blank, just like the worst blank and the worst or and the scariest blank, but the scariest I'll
Okay.
give options. So because but
Scary.
okay, but right now we're gonna. Who do you think is the worst horror villain, or just villain in general? It could be like, like, did you ever see Barbarian?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so like that, like I would consider like him not really a villain, but like just the worst person because like how he like what I'm going to put like he basically threw the girl in the way so he could survive, which obviously he doesn't survive, but it's just like the way he threw the lady off the big the tower and like spoilers, but it was just like, oh man, I hope he's the worst, like he kind of turned into a villain there for a moment, even though. So I would also consider that, but like I doesn't necessarily.
That is a form of villainy. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm not trying to be like
God, who's the worst? Let's
I'm not say like who like Jason is the worst or Freddy's the worst. Like not like in terms of that. It's just like who's just like who really like makes you like that's bad. Like like I, now like the horror icons are icons for a reason. So I was
okay.
trying. That's what I was trying to get at. It's
So
like go
yeah,
ahead.
okay. So as far as people go, who are
Yeah.
the
Okay.
worst people?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, that when you started explaining it, a picture popped into my head, and I have an answer.
okay.
And it's Russell from Night of the Living Dead, the father to Kira Shawn, the guy that
Oh,
wants to live in the basement.
okay.
He is the biggest D-bag in that film because he thinks he's got it all figured out. He's like, look, we'll go upstairs, we'll block off all the windows, and then we'll come back down here into the basement. And it's like, and Dwayne Jones's character is kind of like, dude, you do realize there's no back door. You go
Yeah,
down there, you're stuck.
right.
And he doesn't want to hear it. And he's
Yeah,
like,
very good.
fine, well, we'll take all the food down there. No, you want to go down there and be the king of basement land. You get to be the king, but you don't get to take our stuff down there.
Right.
And so Russell.
That's a very good answer. That's a very good answer because but yeah, yeah, no, I'm like you explained it like yeah, like he wants to like put their back up against the corner and hope for the best. It just oh man. So yeah, like
Yeah.
uh that's so I I do, and
I'm
it's the mayor from Jaws. He wants to keep the beaches open.
you know what? The mayor from Jaws, the mayor from Jaws, and the guy that owns the amusement park in the original Piranha,
Oh, yeah,
basically the same character.
right.
You know, these two could be brothers.
Just the mayor in horror movies. They're usually the worst. Oh man. But yeah, I think that would be one of mine. He's the worst, just because, like, not sir, like, just because, like, he is legit putting money over the lives of hundreds, not if that
Not just money, but tourism.
tour. Yeah, it's like exactly
We can't let anyone know that there are sharks there because then they'll never come here. We'll lose our tourist trade.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, just a second. You might get different kind of tourists coming out there, you dumbass. They kind of want to look at sharks.
yeah. That's terrible. Like that. And the thing is, that's still kind of like how people think today. It has not changed whatsoever. Uh,
No, I
okay.
like your answer. That's a good
I
answer too.
answer too. That was actually a really good one. Like, um, that's funny. It's just I never would have like. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so here is our final category of the day. Who is the which of these two to you is the scariest? Are you more scared of ghosts or goblins? Or
Define goblin for me.
so I have to agree because I know ghosts can manifest a lot of things and do a lot of stuff, but like goblins are like pretty physical in the physical realm. Like they can like legit touch like exist in some yeah
But here's the thing: when you say goblin to me,
yeah
so I get a picture again. I get a picture in my head, right?
yeah
And I don't know. I don't know if you remember this, but I'm old enough that this is what it was. When I hear the word goblin, I don't think of horror movies. I think of Ronald McDonald. The little creatures that used to the little goblin fry, the guys that used to gobble up all the fries, the
oh
goblins. You
okay,
know,
that's funny. So you're not doing like traditional like point nose and ears, and that's like
well, see, that's the thing. It's like but that was the first thing that popped in my head. So okay, now we're talking. Now,
I think more Lord of the Rings goblins, like
uh,
not so much like the Orakai and stuff like that. Like the more like there's a point in the movie in Lord of the Rings where it's like they were like, let's eat the hobbits. It's like that's pretty terrible. Like I know ghosts are terrifying just as much as anything, but like um
I guess because I don't know enough about goblins,
okay
they
yeah
would they would technically they would technically be more scary because when it comes to ghosts,
that's
there's just a ghost.
like
It's just a dead spirit. I mean,
yeah, I think there's a lot more ghost movies and a lot more, like you said, yeah, like more knowledge. Like, oh, let's try to like say supernatural. Like, all you gotta do is
I
salt.
was thinking that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, so a little bit of salt, a little bit of iron,
Yeah,
burn the corpse. You know,
exactly. And like, they don't really like. We'll use supernatural as a baseline here. Like, they don't really like tackle goblins in that show, so it's kind of like goblins, not like the knowledge or the information on goblins are kind of like not like it's not as hefty like
sporadic.
compared to ghosts. It's like
Yeah,
so yeah. I like that line of thinking because like it's the like we would definitely have a higher chance of survivability with ghosts because of our we can just like YouTube it more like okay like how to fight this kind of ghost or whatever and like there's so many ghost experts like who's a goblin expert who would you call like you would have to like call like you would have to like have another supernatural being like Hellboy to come in and deal with this kind of thing.
Yeah, all I have to do is go on hallowed ground, and
Yeah, so yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Let's so our final question of the day is who is scariest? Like we've kind of alluded to both throughout the whole night of the whole show in various small forms, but like who do you think is aliens or zombies more scarier?
Well, if we're throwing now, when you say aliens, you're talking xenomorph.
No, no, like aliens from another world, like just not
Aliens, okay, just any kind of aliens. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and then the zombies it can
So
be
we're talking Men in Black type of thing. Okay.
yeah, like
Um,
X
you know,
Files, like
you know, I mean, when it comes to aliens, uh, I guess it goes back to the goblin thing, not knowing.
right,
Because I mean, with the horde of zombies, we know that if I mean, more likely if you get bit, you're infected. If you're infected, you become a zombie. So stay away from zombies. There you go. There's your pro tip number one, and always double tap. Um,
did
but
you like
with aliens,
we'll get to that in a
huh?
second. Did you like the second one, Zombieland?
Uh, it was okay. It
Yeah,
wasn't as good as the first one, but I liked it.
I totally agree. But anyways,
I would
uh,
give it if we're to give it like if we go 2 to 4 or if we go like 1 to 4 chainsaws, it's a 2. It's an average movie, whereas the first one was more like a 3. It was
I
above average.
I agree.
Um,
I think the time between movies kind of hurt it a little bit.
that too. It was there was way too much time. But with aliens, so dude, we're talking about aliens that they could be anything. They could just be an amoeba. They could just be a gaseous
But
cloud. They
like
could just be, it could be anything. And so not knowing how to deal with that's a little more scary than having to deal with a horde of zombies.
did you ever watch Life?
That's a great movie. I saw that
Yeah.
in the theater and I
When,
own it. Yeah.
when you said yeah, I got to see this in theater. This is one of me and Ariel's first date movies. um, so when you said amoeba, like look how small
There you
that little
go.
thing, and then it just took over the entire ship,
Yes,
and
it started out as a DNA. It started out as a little DNA strand,
yeah,
and they're like,
like,
"Oh, look, I can play with it." And
or even in Prometheus,
I
it's like
love the ending. I love the ending of that movie.
same, as being
All I'm gonna say.
uh, but so I'm gonna have to kind of like I have to defend zombies here for a moment. Like the reason I think they're a little bit scarier is because it is known it could be a loved one like what if there is a cure down the line and like they like obviously most zombie movies don't end like that but it's just like you always have that in the back of your mind like do I kill him now or wait or like you could be your neighbor like people who actually have
I
like putting them
I
down that
just watched a really really good zombie movie. Um, The Girl with All the Gifts,
okay I never heard of that one.
dude. If it's on one of the pay channels on cable. I don't remember which one. I recorded it and watched it, but
Okay.
um, it goes along that line. You know, basically, what if there is a cure? And Glenn Close is in it.
Okay.
Which Glenn Close is in a zombie movie. They don't call them zombies. They call them the hungry.
Is it fairly recent?
Mm,
Maybe I'm thinking of another movie.
last 4 years, 5 years, maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay, I was just thinking. I was just trying. Like, do I? Is that a movie I was thinking of? I was just trying to
It's
pin it.
Glenn Close, Gemma, or I can't remember. I don't know how you pronounce her name. I think it's Gemma
Yeah,
Amerton, Ayrton,
yeah.
and uh, I can't think of the guy's name, but you would. I mean, if you watch enough foreign movies, you would know him.
Okay,
Um, it's a good movie. I just watched it for the first. I recorded and watched. I'm like, when the movie's over, it's all about this little girl who is a zombie, but she's not. I mean,
okay,
she's more. They're more attracted to the smell. And Glenn Close is like, I want to cut her brain open and take her spine and and possibly make a cure.
okay. It's kind of like The Last of Us then, because that's basically what that whole game slash movie is about. Like, yeah, Joel Pedro Pascal, he kind of gets tasked by taking this girl who's immune to being uh
Yes, this girl's not immune. She's basically what they said in the movie is the fact that when the zombie apocalypse broke out, there were a bunch of pregnant women,
uh,
and and they found they found these babies, and they found out that the babies basically ate their way out of their mothers.
okay.
You know, so
So
they have the disease, but
I got you.
you
No,
know,
that's exactly kind of how Last of Us is too, because our main hero, Ellie, she was she basically was birthed as her mom was bitten, and so that's kind of like how she got immune, because just like she might, like, it's never really truly explained, but it's like, oh, she must have like given something, or like the combination of the two, being bitten and still in the womb and everything, kind of like must have like done something to her biology to like counteract the fungus, um
right,
the
right.
bacteria, fungus, whatever it is. So yeah, but yeah, like, oh man, yeah, I think it's tough with this one for me, because I was just trying to be devil's advocate here for a second, but like
No,
I
I
do.
get that, but yeah, I just think that with aliens, you don't know. I mean, dude, you see an alien with horns, and for all we know, those horns right there are to read your mind,
Exactly.
are to mess with you. Whereas with the zombies, with the zombie horde, I understand that it's like it could be a family member and there could be a cure down the road, but dude, at that point, it's like you just need to survive. I
Right.
mean, that's all it really is. You just,
No, I get that. Like,
and we've
no,
seen a lot of those zombie movies where they're like, "Hey, we'll just put the child in the shed and feed it like whatever comes across, and
right,
nothing good ever comes of it."
right. It always backfires. Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, I, as much as I was just like, I think Aliens is the more scarier because of, like you said, it's the unknown. It's like, what, I know there's a lot of different
goes back to
versions.
the not knowing thing.
Yeah, it's like there is a lot of um versions of aliens we can get. We can get the gray man, the skinny, or we can get like the or we can get the dream catcher aliens, or um,
We get a really cute Andorian chick.
yeah, yeah. Star Trek has proved that there's like 80,000 species of aliens out there. Like, and so and there's like when it comes to zombies, there's only like a handful. You got the runners, you got the very indestructible ones from Return of the Living Dead. You got the basic, just shooting the head, they're down. So
Right.
so like the variations of zombies is just variations, but like they're like but but they're essentially the same. They if you get bit, you're dead. And and but like when it comes to aliens, it's kind of like which like what are they going to look like? What are their intentions? What's like are they going to like use gather us up and cook us? Like on the episode of going back to Twilight Zone, right? Where like
Yeah.
it's a cookbook, and so
Exactly.
so
Are they Beta and Ursa, or
right. Like me and my dad, we watched the Attack of the Green Slime or whatever. I think that's what it's called, and it's just like the aliens on there are just giant big creatures, and just like that's so like it's like you never know like whether like even say Mars Attack, like they're
that was such a cool movie.
I love Mars. So yeah, I think yeah, I think we're both in agreement on this one, and so it's like Alien is definitely like the scary like the entity that is aliens is scarier than like because of the unknown.
Yeah.
So, oh man, yeah. So yeah, I was like when I was thinking of these questions, I was just kind of like what I was just trying to think what would get us to talk a lot about, and I was like, holy crap! Like I'm like I really like these questions. Like obviously I was like I had a bunch more, but I'm just like these were to me would like kind of like spark some good conversation, and I'm like I'm glad I picked these. It was uh so do you have any I asked you off camera, like did you have any like topics yourself that you would like to bring up to
So, one thing I want to bring up is Ty West movies.
okay, perfect. Okay.
You know, um, I did. So you said, I think it was Wednesday. You said that you watched Maxine,
Yes, that was my day off, yes.
and I'm like, I haven't seen it. I haven't had a chance to, to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was at Walmart on Friday, and they had a copy of Maxine on Blu-ray, so I picked it up. Actually, I was there on Thursday because I had a doctor's appointment. So, so I picked it up, brought it home, watched it, and here's I'm not crapping on Ty West. Ty West makes good movies,
Mm-hmm.
but what he makes is really good dramas that are characterized as horror films when they're not.
Okay.
Maxine is not a horror film.
Yeah,
Pearl is not a horror film. As much as people love Pearl, and I thought Pearl was a snore fest.
oh
I
really?
really did. I mean, nothing happens in that movie except for the last 15 to 20 minutes. You
Not
know,
gonna lie,
and
I've
I'm
only
just kind of like,
watched Pearl once.
huh?
I've only watched Pearl once. And I've only watched X
Yeah.
once. But I would find myself watching Maxine more than once actually. Like I would probably watch X
I
eventually
really
again.
love See,
Go
I
ahead.
really liked X. I really, really liked X. I thought they had a good premise to it. The
Mm,
idea of these six friends going out there to make a porn, and and all of a sudden something bizarre starts happening and people start dying. Okay, that's a good idea for a horror movie.
mm-hmm.
Maxine. Now, see, I can see watching X and Maxine back to back to watch where the character goes.
So
But to me,
okay,
Maxine is nothing more than a dramatized thriller. Not even a thriller. There's a dramatized cop movie.
so here is there. Okay, so me and you both like to, when we do our 30, like to kind of bring it back to our 31 days for a second. We have fun editing our videos for that. Like you have fun doing the title sequence, and as do I, making like these little cool intro videos, and the way you kind of jump into the, like, do that
The
lightning
pop
effect
in, yeah.
spin and everything. Like, so like me, I look at things a little bit different as an editor. You know, like we do have a little bit of an editor's mind's eye for sure. So here's when I was legit watching these movies, and I was telling somebody at work, like, okay, like there are points in these movies where you could splice in the movie. It would legit. I would start with Maxine and play up to the point where she tells her entertainment lawyer everything that happened in X, and then there's a point in X where they're like reminiscing like pictures on the wall, and they're like, oh, and then I would like fade into Pearl. Like, I don't even have to play the entire movie of Pearl, just enough to like show that she's like psychotic and like holy
Right.
crap, she's unhinged. And then it would go back to X, and then at the end of X, it would like cut back to Maxine, because like you don't see what she tells the entertainment lawyer, and it would be like that'd be a great way to like oh, that's like what she was telling is what happens in like the movie of X, and so like that's how I would do it. Um, Obviously
Okay,
there would be,
so what you're talking about doing is doing what they did to The Godfather in the 80s.
yeah,
So the Godfather, there was the Godfather and the Godfather Part Two, and then in the 80s they put out the Godfather Saga, where they took both movies, Godfather One and Two,
right,
and they edited it all together into one long ass movie. Whereas in Part Two of the Godfather, we see Vito as a child come over from Italy to Ellis Island.
right, yeah,
That's the beginning of the Godfather saga.
right. Like they want to do it
So
more
that
chronologically, yeah. Like
more
that's,
linear, yeah. And
I've yet to see that
so
version. By the way, that's they had it on. I don't mean to interrupt you. They had that on HBO Max when they had that cut on there, and I'm so mad that they took it off. You know, the Godfather movies are still on there. I was so mad that they took that like whatever 5 hour, 6 hour cut of that movie off, because I really wanted to watch it how it was presented, because even my mom likes that cut of the movie. Like she likes it being told that way and everything.
yeah,
So I'm like,
it's called the Godfather saga. You can find it on Amazon, I believe.
oh
I
really?
mean, I
Oh,
think they, you know,
and that's kind of what I was hoping.
yeah.
Maybe we'll get like a cool Blu-ray of that, or a 4K, just so they can put it all on one disc more than anything. Uh, but yeah,
5 hours.
I would definitely buy.
I love The Godfather. Don't get me wrong, but
I would
but
buy
you
that.
need. I'm sorry, but you've got to take a break like halfway through. I mean,
So when I do my Lord of the Rings marathons, I there's a point in the viewing. I'm like, I'm gonna go take a break. I'm gonna go take a shower. I eat, and I'll come back and
take the
resume.
day off.
Uh, and I'll resume the next 6 hours. You know, like that's how I would do it. Legit. There's no joke. I'm like, I'm going to go take a shower. I've been sitting here for 6 hours watching a movie, and I'm usually to me these movies fly by really fast. So it's just like, but I'm like, oh crap, it's 6 in the afternoon. or in the evening, I better go take a shower. Like I at least want to like accomplish something today. A shower, something minor. You know, something I've like. Yeah, I've won.
But
You know, I put a win in the I put a check in the win column by being clean.
like, I mean, going back to what I was talking about, like Ty West. So, um, the Innkeepers. The Innkeepers was a boring freaking film.
I've yet to watch that one.
House of the Devil. I know a lot of people love this movie, right? This is another one of those movies where the population, the horror population, loves it more than I do.
Okay,
Um, and so
that's kind of with the Evil Bong movies.
I remember watching it, and going, and 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 I don't get it. For some reason, Ty West is like, okay, I'm going to make this movie about this girl getting harassed, and basically he's making the movie when a stranger calls,
okay.
and like nothing really big happens until like the last 5-10 minutes, and you're like, dude, okay, we get it. You like to be that guy that shows up at the end of the movie going, ooh, I got you, but it doesn't do anything for me,
Okay.
you know. And I mean, so far the movies I like by Ty West are the movies for some reason everybody hates. I loved Sacrament,
Never seen that one.
which is basically it's the story of Jim Jones.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I did not know that.
I mean, it's they don't say Jim Jones, but it's basically that same idea. Some right. Loved that movie. I loved X and I love Maxine, and I think he did the second Cabin Fever movie, Spring Break.
Oh yes, I can read. You are correct. He did do this one. Yep, he did it.
Yeah.
So, did you
Okay,
know?
and that was
Go ahead. Yeah, like he did a western too. Did
well,
you know?
and that's basically it. I mean, everything else. A western? He did a western?
Yeah, it's called In the Valley of Violence.
No, I didn't know that.
Ethan Hawke, and a few others in there. Actually, oh, John Travolta's in it.
Ethan
Yeah, it's like
Ethan Hawke and John Travolta are in a movie together.
yeah, that's exactly.
How did I miss this?
No, like I holy crap, like I Ethan Hawke is he's a decent actor, at least in my mind. Like I love him in Training Day, and I actually really liked him in the remake of the Magnificent Seven and The Purge. He was all right, but
I'm a
like
huge Ethan Hawke fan, so
oh really? So
I
yeah,
don't think he's.
so yeah,
That's why I'm saying Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke and John Travolta are in a movie together. What the? How did I miss this? No, yeah, I think Ethan Hawke is probably one of the most underrated actors of all time. He's one of those people that no one really talks about when they say, "Oh, well, this guy's the best actor," and this guy's. You never hear Ethan Hawke's name come up,
it,
and Ethan Hawke has made a lot of really great movies.
I've yet to see Black. Is and because and I'm like I really want to see it because like I want to see him play somebody cool. Like I know
Black
he's a
Phone
villain.
was Black Phone was awesome.
So I've been trying to think of like something to watch scary and just like so now I figured something out to watch because Black Phone.
Black Phone's not scary as much as it is creepy.
Okay, that's what I meant. Like
No, but I'm just saying. I mean, there's a difference between scary and creepy, but
yeah.
it's creepy all the same. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know they were in a movie together because when did you ever like do your universal rewards and stuff like that, or you get points if you redeem your movies and stuff?
I did with Sony a few times, but that was pretty much it.
Okay, well, Universal, that was the one I did the most. Like, if I ever bought something off Voodoo, it would like if it was Universal movie or whatever, I would get like 1,000 points, and that usually means like, or like 200 or 300 points, and after a few movies, it would like um, earn you a free movie essentially.
Right.
But they closed it down this past time, and I had 11,000 points, and
Holy crap.
each movie cost only 1,000, so I got 11 free movies. And one of them was the In the Valley of Violence by Ty West, and I'm like, holy crap! And then I got Driven, the story about the DeLorean, and a few other, like Night of the Creeps, I think was on there, and Shrieker Island. So like, I did get a few Trimmer movies for free, but yeah. But the In Valley of Violence is the one that really stood out of out of all of them. I'm just like, that's you like I know Ty West from the X movies, the Maxine trilogies, and it's just like, oh, I kind of want to see him do a western. Like I would like to see what he would do with that genre of movie. So, um, I'm trying to think. Oh,
Yeah, I just go
so
ahead.
when you were bringing up Maxine, I was kind of like waiting for you to bring up the inaccuracies of the music. That's what I was waiting for.
Oh no, that's
Uh,
the one inaccuracy the most was the Judas Priest thing.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that one.
Yeah. So Judas Priest has a song in Maxine. So the movie comes out in 1985. Judas Priest has a song in Maxine, but that song was not released until 2001, which was on the special edition remastered version of Screaming for Vengeance, which came out in 1982.
Okay.
Right? So in 1982, it wasn't on that album. It was on the 2001 remastered version. But they're
Oh,
saying, hey, it was in 1985. Um, yeah, there was a lot. I mean, they had a lot of they had Rat in there, they had Judas Priest in there, um, but then they have a lot of poppy. I mean, dude, I was around in the '80s. I mean, I was a teenager in 1985. I was 17.
oh yeah.
You know,
I wouldn't even thought
and
of.
and and you're not even
Oh,
thought of. Oh, you're probably thought of. Just haven't. One day I'm gonna have a son.
yeah.
but
But
but yeah, so in 1985, I'm 17, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood with uh
relax.
well, Relax, but the one they used in Maxine was Pleasure Dome.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Okay.
You know, Emotions, Obsession, Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes. Betty Reed.
Oh, yeah.
By then,
So
it's
when they
really weird because
go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, when they opened up the movie with that quote, I'm like, I knew that song was going to show up in that movie. Like when they had the
Yeah,
Betty Davis, I'm like, yep, they're going to have that song in there somewhere. I know it was like
yeah,
towards, but
but it's really weird for me because like again, I'm a teenager through the '80s until my early 20s, you know, and so when movies this is the thing that bugs me about movies that take place in the '80s that no one gets it right. One of the dumbest things I ever saw was 13 Going on 30 with
uh,
Jennifer Garner.
yeah.
So it's 1987, and she has an obsession with Rick Springfield. You know,
Himself.
Rick Springfield was huge in the early '80s, 81, 82, 83, maybe 84. By 1987, no one was thinking about Rick Springfield,
Funny.
especially not a 13-year-old girl. You know,
I'm trying to think.
and
Like that's like I'm trying to think of like the bands that were in that in 1987. Like that would she would like when
oh, dude,
new
Tesla.
that New Kids on the Block era too.
They were just coming out, yeah.
So
But
okay, I was just trying to think of the time frame of everything. So
yeah. So it'd be more like Tesla, Motley Crue had just put out Girls. Guns N' Roses put out Appetite for Destruction,
it's
you
definitely
know.
I think we talked about this. It's definitely the glam era of rock, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, well, some glam and some pure heavy metal, like Iron
yeah.
Maiden put out Somewhere in Time.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there was a lot of hard rock coming out. Van Halen put out "Oh You Ain't One Two" like the year before.
Okay.
You know,
I'm just trying to build the landscape in my head that because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just like I'm talking out loud
yeah,
more.
no, and that's the thing. It's like, and when I hear someone go, "Oh, well, that was a really cool idea," we wanted to make sure we got that synth pop in there. It's like synth pop, dude. Synth pop was early '80s. It didn't go all the way through the '80s.
Right. No, like
And
I agree. Like I think they are like I don't think we have truly gotten a good '80s nostalgia movie because everything is heightened. I think they've heightened every single thing about it, like the neon, like stretch pants and like the and stuff like that, like the spandex and like the is that '80s or that '70s?
well,
The
uh, spandex was '80s, but you don't. It's that's never done right at all because I remember seeing guys. I mean, you see guys in spandex. It wasn't just the girls and the jazzercise videos. I
yeah,
knew guys that would go out and they'd borrow their girlfriends like leopard print
yeah,
spandex because they were rockers. These were the guys I
right,
was hanging out with.
right.
And
So yeah, I think it's just like I don't think they've actually like I totally agree. They haven't really captured the '80s well on like yes, it's they captured the nostalgia well, but not like that's just like I would like to see like a movie set in the '80s in a town that like kind of like honestly like the Goldbergs don't do it too bad because it's like
Goldbergs were awful, dude. The
oh really
Goldbergs were freaking awful.
I think it was
Yeah.
go ahead
So see, that's the thing. It's like a lot of people that watch like when I was doing this show with Leo and the guys. Leo was like he loved the Goldbergs, right? And I'm like, dude. So I tried watching it because I'd never watched it before, and so I watched like about 3 episodes, and within those 3 episodes, the main character, uh, Adam,
hmm
right? So in like one episode, he's talking about he wants to meet a girl, and the grandfather, played by George Siegel, which again, the actors aren't that bad, but George Siegel says, you want to meet a girl? You got to watch this movie. This is the best movie ever. And it's When Harry Met Sally. So Adam Goldberg's like in middle school, I think, at the time,
oh yeah
right?
that's
And he's
pretty young.
like he's like 14, and so yeah, the grandfather's like, you got to watch this movie. And it's when Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally came out in 1989, and then like the next episode, you can always tell like when the show. I mean, even though they don't say what year it is, you
Like
can
19
pretty much
yeah that's
you
what they
can
always
gauge it by what the pop culture thing that they're referencing in the movie or the show is, right?
like
And so all of a sudden, like the next episode, he's talking about going to see Gremlins. It's like, dude, that was like 5 years before when Harry met Sally, and yet you're
right.
still in junior high.
So did you ever watch um no that's not '80s related that's about Star Wars. That's I consider that more this like telling in the '70s, but No, I don't know where I'm going with it, but yeah, like that's the only reason why I say Goldberg's just decent is because the way Kevin Smith and a lot of other directors talk about the 80s, like how they went to the movies with their dad and like, or they just like, they like me and you had basically, I'm sure we had like free reign of what we watched. And that's kind of
Pretty
like,
much,
that's
yeah.
why I was thinking, that's why I related to the Goldbergs. Like I could watch RoboCop. I could watch Starship Troopers. It was funny. I was watching the Starship Troopers came out in '97. I was 8 years old, and I'm watching these people get disemboweled, decapitated. You know, there's like nudity on screen, like guy nudity too. Like there, and so it's just kind of like holy
Uh, Kevin and I don't watch the show that much, but every now and then I'll pop it on Kevin and Tony, do the Wicked
yeah,
Horror Show.
same. I
I don't watch it that much, but they
I
had
mean,
someone on not too long ago, and they're like, yeah. So I probably was. They're like, I was probably watching stuff when I wasn't supposed to be watching it. It's like the guy goes, I saw The Exorcist when I was like about 10, and then all of a sudden I hear Kevin go, well, Wolfie, who used to do our show, saw The Exorcist when he was 6 with his mom in the theater when it came out, which is true.
yeah,
So yeah,
it's been documented on our show as well. uh, but yeah, no, same. I because my dad wasn't really into horror, um, except for like the Atomic Age stuff, 50s and
right, yeah,
Back of the Green Slime. That's how I got my love for the black and white monster movies and stuff like that. It was all because of him. But my mom was more into the act, like not probably not so much today, but like she at least allowed me to watch Friday and Jason and Aliens and stuff like that. I had a little bit more of the rougher side of the horror genre on that end of thing. I know monster movies is like blurs the line on horror, but it's like, but uh,
yeah.
but but it was just like, but it was just like I actually was able to have like a nice eclectic taste of movie
I
watching.
feel the same way. I really do. My mom, it's basically all my mom though. My mom raised me on the same thing, like Atomic Age monster movies, them and Tarantula and The Fiend Without a Face and all that stuff you see on Svengoolie,
Yeah. So
you know.
like I mean,
And and so as I got older and she got older, stuff like Rosemary's Baby was coming out and The Exorcist and The Omen and so as she progressed into watching more modern horror stuff, I progressed to watching more modern horror stuff, and I know that not too long ago, because all of a sudden it's like somewhere along the line, and I know it wasn't her. Somewhere along the line, I started watching Italian horror
mm,
because she only watches it now because she actually thinks that they have good decent stories to them, but it
you
wasn't something that
you just watched Black Sabbath, right? That's the Mario Bava
I
movie,
just
right?
watched. Mario Bava movie. Yeah,
So I see. So here's the thing: I would never would have watched that movie if it wasn't for like you or like I never would have watched Tenebrae. I love Tenebrae. I think the
Delivery is an awesome movie.
the use of color in that movie, because most of the movie, like especially like there's a scene in the movie where it's like a white background and like the Italian horror blood is very different from American blood, and it's like it just like it looks like I love that, and it's like and thing is I still have, I don't know where I put them. Like I still have a huge stack of. Oh well, that is not a belong in there. But I still have like a huge stack of like just Franco movies I've yet to watch.
There you go. And
And so,
and those are yeah.
oh, actually, I've seen that one. Yeah, like I've yet to watch Faceless, which I'm actually looking forward to. That actually looks pretty good. I do like the cover a lot. I don't know if you've seen this one or not.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm like that's because that's when I was going to do it, and then I had well. Speaking of that, I definitely wouldn't have like watched these two movies,
And
and
she killed an ecstasy is so good,
I really like
so
that.
damn good.
That's so. Speaking of like that, I was telling my friend Michael, I was like, you know what? There's gonna be a day when he's gonna like Arlo's gonna go through my movie collection. I'm like, I'm going to have to like have a put like a no kids section on my on my shelf. Like it has to be that I'm gonna black it out and like you have to be 21 to enter, or 18 to enter.
Oh come on,
No, I'm
at
not gonna be
least 10.
these 10. Yeah, right. Like, like yeah, exactly. I was watching. Yeah, like I said, I was watching Starship Troopers at 8, and so um, I was like, yeah, is that how it is? So, yeah, it was always a year. No,
Yeah, but so I mean, somewhere along the way, I got into Italian horror,
yeah,
and not too long ago, I was watching something, and she looks over me, and she goes, "Where'd you find this movie?" I was watching. I watched this when I was like about 12, and she goes, "You were watching." She goes, "Where was I?" I go, "You were in the bedroom. We had cable. I'm just watching all that." you know, and it doesn't bother her, but she was just kind of like, because I a lot of Euro stuff had a lot of nudity in it.
no,
Not
yeah,
I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about nudity. Just
yeah.
boobs and full on bush. And but she's like, where was I? I'm like, you were sleeping. I don't know. I mean, I'd come home from school, you'd be at work, I'd flip on the TV, they'd be showing like some kind of weird Hammer film
Oh yeah,
or
for
or Soledad Miranda film or.
oh man. All right, so our time is about up here. We got like 4 minutes, 3 minutes to spare. So
3 minutes.
do you have like what's your go? What's your do you have a? I asked Michael this. This is I was like I knew exactly what final like question I was going to ask. Do you have like a final movie that you're saving for the end of the month for Halloween?
Uh, this year has been kind of weird, and I told you that I think I told you this before. It's like because of me being out of commission and
Yeah,
not doing anything. I didn't really make up a list this year, so I'm kind of playing it by ear.
no, same.
But I recorded a movie last night to possibly watch just on Halloween, and I think I'm gonna do Trick or Treat with Sam.
Oh, Sam. Oh, okay. Oh, me.
I
Oh,
think I mean that's an idea. It's got Anna Paquin in it, and
yeah.
yeah,
That's, that's
you
that's
know,
that's always a good solid. You it's always a good solid choice. Um, me and Ariel actually me and Ariel actually have a movie planned. We're gonna watch Trap, yeah, with Josh Hartnett, the M Night
okay,
movie.
yeah, that's the new I that actually looks like a really good movie. I do want to see that. I love
So
the idea. I love the idea of it.
same.
He's a he's a serial killer that's going out killing people and whatever. And he takes his daughter to like to for lack of a better example, a Taylor Swift style concert.
Pop concert, yeah.
And, and all the cops know who he is, and they have got the whole because I saw them interview him when he was doing this when this movie was coming out. He's like, yeah, and all the cops were in on it, and
Is
he's
it
basically trapped inside this concert,
right?
and that's all. I mean, that's all I know. I don't want to know anymore.
Same, same, same. like what's funny, like how I know this is gonna be a movie for me and her to watch is that we both sent the trailer to each other. We never do that, okay? Like when it comes to movie trailers and
That's
stuff.
funny.
So like neither of us, like obviously me and her's movie um tastes are very drastically different, but every once in a while we do hit one that hits on both ends, and that's the one that we've been saving to watch together. And it was just like, I already sent you that trailer, and she's like, you did? And I'm like, yes, but you didn't watch it because like we talk through, like we send stuff to each other on like 8 different stuff. So I'm like, yeah, go check your Instagram. I sent it to you, and she's like, oh, that's funny. And then she just sent it to me through
I sent
message.
you on Facebook, and
And we're just like, holy crap! Like it was like legit within like hours of each other, and so it was, and so like yep,
and
that's the
Josh,
we're going
dude, I'm a huge Josh Hartnett fan. Going back to The Faculty,
same,
you know, but he looks so different now. His
right?
face, he hit that. Every person, no matter who they are, male or female, they hit that point in their life where their face fills out.
Yeah,
You can have the skinniest face ever. Then somewhere around like 40, yeah, your face just kind of like fills out, and he's hit that thing and where he doesn't look like Josh Hartnett anymore.
which isn't a bad thing. It's like it kind of gives him a fresh look. Like he's not the heartthrob that he was in The Faculty or even the Halloween H2O. It's like
At least he doesn't have the bowl cut he had in
yeah,
Faculty.
yeah. Okay, so do you have where would we always have to end it here with this? Like, where can they find you at?
Oh, dude. Well, you can always check out my YouTube channel. There's stuff on there now. So just to let people know what happened,
Oh yeah,
a while back ago, I got an infection in the left heel of my or in the left heel of my left foot. Yeah, I got an infection in the heel of my left foot, and it's a hole about yay big. It's about the size of a $50. We're just waiting for it to heal because right now I'm probably the most comfortable I'll be, but I can't do a whole lot of standing or walking on it because it just freaking hurts.
no,
So the doctors told me basically, stay off your feet. Don't do, and I could set up a chair and sit there and do it, but I'm a one man show. That
right,
means I still have to get up, walk over, turn the camera on, you know, set all the movies up and do all that. And so that I just been on hiatus. Hiatus does not mean I'm gone. It
right,
just means I'm getting better. And what really annoyed me is that when this hit, when this when this infection on my foot hit, um, I was gearing up, dude. I had ideas that I wanted to do, and you know, and
mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the doctor's like, "Well, guess what? You have to sit." And so I haven't done anything, and I've had a lot of people over there. There's a lot of people leaving comments on my stuff lately, which
Oh
is
really?
really weird. Yeah,
Uh,
you know, I
I'm
mean,
glad they're
thank
still,
you.
yeah, like they're still reaching out because I think, um, but
You
yeah,
know,
it's not
um,
a
one
time
of
of
my
year.
one of my YouTube one of my followers says that she wants to, she heard about my foot and she goes, "I want to send you a care package." And I'm like, if we could find out how to get you my address, because I don't want to just put my
Say it
address on YouTube, you
right.
know. But yeah, so my stuff is there on YouTube. Um, I haven't done Tumblr in forever. I don't do Twitter/X anymore. So basically, just
Just YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm a little bit everywhere. Just because of like, um,
Your
uh,
wife.
wife and kid, and I do like and a lot of places don't do dual stuff um and sometimes they require you to like I did this contest. It was like, oh, if you follow me on Instagram and then do something on X at the same time, and then we'll like
Yeah,
figure.
I hate
So,
those.
so I was. That's the only reason why I have quite a few. But like, it's either the one and only MSJ or Brother Max. It's either one of those two everywhere. So it's not. It's just type those in. Um, then I think that's it. Like, uh, for me, I think when I'm in. Oh yeah, I told you, me and Ariel's going to end Halloween with Trap. So that's my big movie of the month is watching that movie.
Yeah, the idea is basically the idea is to and my idea is to end it with Trick or Treat, but I've been this month has just been so enamored with horror on cable
Mm-hmm.
that I've just been recording and recording and recording. And so
I just resubscribed to Shutter, so I'm hoping to catch a couple of their oh, okay. One last topic. I don't know if we talked about it yet. Have you watched Late Night with the Devil yet?
I recorded it off of IFC.
Oh, it's on your list.
That's what I'm that's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's funny.
yeah, it came out on Blu-ray, and I'm like, oh, I want to see this, but I don't know if I really want to, because I don't know anything. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not really. I haven't really heard a whole lot about it. No one's really talking. This is the one movie that no one's really talking about on like Facebook or anything.
Well, it was for
And
and then it died down pretty quick. Like then because something else came out. It was actually pretty well talked about, but it was not, at least not on Facebook, but like Instagram and X. Like it had a quite the little community grown. So, but then
okay,
once the movie came out, everyone talked about it again, and then it died down. It's like, um, but it still staggers here and there because I would talk to people at work like, hey, have you watched this? And like, yeah, I just watched it like the other day. And I'm like, what'd you think? Like, it's pretty good. And so it's like it's fun. Like there's another one that's very similar. It's called WNUF Halloween
oh
Special. I want to.
yeah,
I think I want to watch tonight. So because that's on Shutter, so that's why I was like,
so yeah, and Vinegar Syndrome sold that the WNUF Halloween special like years. I think it was like a year or two ago. It was one of
okay,
those movies you could buy.
oh okay,
I don't know
oh,
if they. I don't know if it's still available over there, but
are you getting
yeah.
for Black Friday
Am I
on
getting
Vinegar?
anything? I don't know yet.
They've been teasing some stuff, so
Just looking at yeah, they've been teasing some stuff. That's the thing. It's like the thing that annoys me is I don't want to get stuck with having to buy a 4K.
uh,
You
well,
know,
I
I never bought Tix. I never bought Tix because I don't own a 4K player. I don't. Yeah, and I know you have it, and it's an awesome looking movie
no,
in it. But
I was checking something else. Sorry. Um, no, it comes with a Blu-ray copy.
no, I know it does. But I'm
Okay,
stuck with the 4K
okay,
that I'm never gonna watch.
I get it.
You
I get.
know,
I see what you're going. Okay, like why have two? Why have that version of the movie when you can't watch? I get it.
I mean, the same thing happened with Fast X last year. I
Oh,
couldn't find Fast X. I couldn't find Fast X on Blu-ray to save my life. But they had it on Black Friday for like $8 or something like that, 4K with the Blu-ray. Like,
uh,
okay, I'm like, okay, fine. And so I think now I think I have three 4Ks in my collection that
So
I'm never gonna watch.
so that was my problem with No Time to Die. Like obviously I would buy the 4K, but trying to find just the standard Blu-ray was kind of a pain. I never saw it out there, even though it comes with one. But
It's
it
a
uh but it was just like holy crap. Actually, I like this James Bond movie quite a bit.
yeah.
But it was just like trying to find just the standard Blu-ray is kind of tough nowadays. For some movies. So yeah.
Well, that's like Maxine. So
Oh,
I saw Maxine for sale uh, the week before last, and I had it in my hand, but it was the 4K with a paper with a goofy paper slip on it, but that also came with a Blu-ray. And no, I'm not doing it. I'm not buying another damn 4K just so
oh
I can watch. And then this week, I found the only thing that they had there at Walmart was just the Blu-ray, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
cool. So I
That
grabbed
was
it.
I never seen the 4K of it, but I have seen just the Blu-ray. I'm kind of holding out on a big box set, maybe like a nicer set. I don't like as much as I like um the set that I have right here of the Cornetto trilogy. I wish there was like a better like presented box set. Like each disc has its own case and wrapped in a even like just a flimsy cardboard or a
Right.
hard just something a little bit more presentable on the shelf. That's like that's what we us collectors kind of like it.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, and I disagree with you on that
Oh, shows
because because to me, shelf room, man. I mean,
no.
shelf space. You know, I mean, I get it. To me, I I like. See, I always forget it's called the Cornetto trilogy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the
I only
three.
like two of those. I only like two of those three movies, and I can't stand Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah. Uh, I end up watching The World's End more than the other two because I love.
Hot Fuzz is an awesome movie.
Oh, Hot Fuzz. Oh yeah, like I think
I
Hot Fuzz is
love.
an action cop movie. Like oh, Echoes. Hey, Echo.
What
Uh,
is this? What goes on when I have a lazy Sunday, Max?
live. Yeah. That's it. No more.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like, he usually helps us in the comments. Yeah, like help us keeps our facts straight. He's a good. Yeah, like it was very. It wasn't impromptu. It's like it's been very overdue of doing a Sunday
Yeah,
show.
we've been trying to do a show, but it's just life.
Life.
Life
Yeah.
gets in the way, man,
Yeah.
and it's no big deal. I mean, dude, you have a wife and you have a kid that that are a little bit more important than just and I get that.
You
I
know,
mean, you got little A, man. You got to bring a little. How is little A?
he's doing good. He's rotten. He's going as a werewolf this Halloween. I figured you like that. He's going to Halloween. He's going as a werewolf.
Oh, dude.
It's like it's one of like a it feels like a
Okay, you have to send me a picture of it.
oh, he has the he has like the blue capri pants. Okay, so you seen A Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh God, yes, I have.
Okay, well, like
I
that's in
so
the movie.
I watched that movie for the first time ever this year.
Oh, really? I think we talked about
Nightmare
it.
Before Christmas. I've never watched that movie. I've never watched that movie because I'm one of those people that if something gets too much hype, I it just kind of turns me off. It's like it can't be. There's no way in hell a movie is that good, or a song is that good, or a band is that good. You
So
know?
Echo, like speaking of movies that get way too much hype, I don't know if you watched any of my shorts these last couple of days. I watched a movie at the recommendation of Echo here. It's called Terror at Blood Fart Lake. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I died. I think I legit died during the watching of this movie. I think I only woke up because I revived myself by accident, just because like I have responsibilities in life. It's like, but
Yeah.
it was like it was just like what a movie. Like it kind of got old really quick, like due to like the way they were talking and everything. It so yeah.
So yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas comes out, and I never jumped on board. Finally, I got a copy of it a while back ago. Like I think it was. So I picked up Mars Attacks, which I loved, and then like not long after that, I already had a copy of Nightmare Before Christmas, which I bought like a year or two ago for like $5 or something like that. But I've never watched it. Finally, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch this movie, dude. This movie is nothing like what people make it out to be. I didn't know I was gonna watch a musical.
um
I and honestly, it's got to be the dumbest movie on the planet. I
so
really, I really didn't like it, and I was bored for
so
something that everybody's like, oh my god, it's my favorite movie, and I got like all the characters, and I got quilts and sheets, and I'm like, what's wrong with me?
no here's what I think is the problem with Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas is that when that movie came out, it was towards my audience. Okay, it was like, it, but now it has become a hot topic esque merchandise thing. Like I, they have really hot topic the crap out of like Beetlejuice and any Tim
Yeah,
Burton movie, and I'm like, to me that makes it lose what makes it special a little bit, and I think it has, and that kind of does travel up the the ladder to like people who have never seen it before, who can really skew it like, oh, I see this everywhere and stuff like that. To me, I have not watched that movie in a decade, like truly honestly, since I was like 20 or so, because I was just watching it one day, and because everyone just has it like it's so merchandised out the butt, it's like it's not even like they come out with the same stuff every year, but it's like just a slight very, I know that we talk about movies like we said about movies, but like this just has, it's just so presented in a way it's just not fun. I don't like the movie anymore. It's like it what you guys are taking the 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 out of it. You're just taking, it's like, oh, here's a backpack, here's this, here's that, and it's just like I don't like it anymore. Like I used to love this movie quite a bit because I did like the songs. I knew it was a musical. I liked the animation. I know it's not a Tim Burton directed movie, but I think Frankenweenie is better than Nightmare Before
I
Christmas.
agree. I agree with that. I agree
I
with
because
that. 100% agree with that.
So yeah, exactly. Thank you, Echo. He's pretty much the hot topic director, and like Frankenweenie, I will, if I had to choose to show Arlo one, I would show him Frankenweenie because it has so much more charm than Nightmare Before Christmas.
But okay, get into what Echo just said. Echo goes, Tim Burton is pretty much the hot topic director. Yes and no. I mean, let's be honest. There's only certain movies that they're hot topicing. You know, because I love Sleepy Hollow. I don't see
Like
Frankenweenie. I
yeah,
love Frankenweenie. I love Sleepy Hollow. Um, but you know what? To be honest, Tim Burton's a hit or miss director too.
As of late, yes.
because
Like
watch his version. No, no, as of Planet of the Apes, his version of Planet of the Apes, that movie was a giant dumpster fire.
no, I
You
no.
know,
He would get like he would do Planet of the Apes, and then he would come back with something like pretty decent, and then he would do Dumbo, and then he would do. But I really did like Big Eyes. I think he did that one right, with the painting about the paintings where the husband was taking all the credit for his wife's work. I really like that. I like when Tim Burton is a little bit more subdued, a little bit. I think that's his movie. I hope God I'm remembering right. It's kind of like with Pain and Gain, with Michael Bay. I think when he's toned down, he's really really good. Like I
well,
like
that's like Jack Black, dude. If you put Jack Black in a movie with other really good actors, you're going to get Jack Black in a really good movie. But if you
right,
put Jack Black in a movie that's a Jack Black movie, you're
yeah.
just getting Jack Black acting goofy and shit. Like School of Rock. School of Rock's an okay movie, but watch him in movies where he's got to actually act with other people. Like even though I don't care for it, him and King Kong was actually he did an actually decent job. To me, King Kong's just way too freaking long. It's just
He was in the
you
Holiday,
know.
right?
But
Or Holiday, like where
The
he,
Holiday, awesome movie.
you know,
Yes,
yeah, like
yes.
when he's required to act, he's a very good actor. Like when he's not doing the,
The
this
Jack
or
Black thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least we got another. Like I think my dad likes the remake. Because I actually went to the theaters and saw it when it came out. So with him, but yeah, I think Echo didn't enjoy it either. So okay, we definitely got to. I have to definitely got to go. I gotta go get some groceries and stuff now. Life. So we will definitely.
It's all good, man.
Um,
Life.
we sometimes we usually have recommendations for us to
Think
watch, but I think we have just talked about what we would like to watch. This like you're definitely gonna watch, or at least try to watch Trick or Treat. I'm gonna try to watch Trapped. No
Trick or
spoilers.
treat.
Uh,
Trick or treat. Possibly. Possibly. Late Night with the Devil, since it's on DVR.
right.
Uh, you
WNF
know,
for me.
and a few other things. I mean, I got a stack of movies. I just need to. I mean, hopefully,
So,
I'll get through the rest of the Tremors movies. You
oh yeah,
know,
had a whole thing on Tremor movies. Like my Halloween month isn't over until I watch the thing. I know we talked about it, but this is one of my staples for this month, and I've yet to watch it. So, and
nothing wrong with that, man.
I had the
See, to me,
4K.
that's the kind of movie that I will watch like in the middle of December.
So
It's a
I
nice, it's a nice, cool day. It's like,
it got super cold here. So that's why I'm like I can justify watching it because I usually save it for the first big snow that we get here,
there you
and
go.
that's what I usually wait for. But I'm like I haven't watched it since last year, so I'm like I have to I'm ready for it. So it's kind of been
It
itching at me.
really does have one of the best commentaries ever.
Yeah, that's why we were talking. So, um, oh yeah, Shrieker Island, Trimmer Island. Yeah, basically. I really hated that. I really like they really did limit to just the Shriekers. I really like to have seen a little bit more Graboid esque stuff in that last one. I know the last one, Bert meets his end. And
I
I
still
know,
haven't seen it though.
no, like a lot of people are like, I'm just gonna let you know right now. Like a lot of people are like, oh, he's not dead. They never showed the body. Blah blah. I'm not. I know that's a huge spoiler, but I'm just gonna let you make your own little
Yeah.
your
Well,
um
I tend to live by the you know when it comes to movies, I tend to live by horror rules.
yeah. No one's Ever really did. Stays dead.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't remember what movie it was I was watching not too long ago, and halfway through we're sitting there watching this movie, and I'm going, okay, so we never really saw this person die. We heard that they were dead, but we never saw. If you don't see it happen in front of the camera,
It's kind of
it,
like Scream, what, 4 with Kirby? Hayden Panettiere's character?
yeah,
Like, her gets stabbed, but then that's it. Like, we don't see her, like, bleed out or anything.
right.
It's like, and then they did leave little Easter eggs throughout until she shows back up. But it was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's what I like. That's one trope I like is like you never see the body, and so it kind of gives you a hint that they could be still alive, or if they never show back up, they're dead. It could either go either way, and I don't mind that trope as much as some people may hate it. But like I hate not
Yeah,
knowing. Whatever. I'm like, I'm not too bad. Like, I don't mind leaving having a little bit of mystery in a movie. You don't need to have like
yeah, that's
if you just go straight to the ending and clear and cut, like, okay, but you want to keep the movie going, you gotta have some mystery in it a little bit.
okay. The one thing the this is one question, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
The one thing that you could do without, as far as cliches or tropes go in horror.
Ooh. I think I asked you this, but the way we talked about it last time, it I went back on it because I think my answer last time was people falling down. I think that's what it was. Mine
Oh,
was,
okay.
but I watched another movie since then that had kind of like changed my view on it. Like the falling down thing, like to me at this point is like when like it's fun again. To me at least. But I was trying to think, but then I can't remember what it was now. Like there was a trope that really truly like bugged me now. It's like it like holy crap, like why are we still doing this? I but you can go ahead while I'm trying if I can think of the movie before we go.
Well, there's one there's a trope that's like it's not just horror; it's like in all movies, and they really need to stop doing it. But I see it in horror, um, and it just needs to stop today. All you directors, all you editors, all you writers that think that this is the coolest thing ever, rewrite your script, re-edit your movie if you plan on doing this. This whole crap where we watch the beginning of a movie and then you say 48 hours earlier, 72 hours earlier, I don't want to watch the ending of a movie at the beginning.
Gotcha.
Don't let me know how it ends. None of this. If you want to tell me a story from the beginning to the end, not from the end to the beginning to the end.
So I, since we've already talked about it, so is that okay if it's done well, like in X, or did that still bother you in X?
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I'm just tired of it.
Oh, it's just tired of it.
I'm
Okay.
just yeah, I'm
Okay.
just I mean, it can be done well. Don't get that there are movies that they've done it well, but I'm just done with it, man. I mean, it seems like every time I turn a damn movie on, no matter what it is, they're like, and 72 hours, 105 hours later, or it's like, dude, come on.
You can't. Someone has kind of ripped them into a corner, and then you're like, oh, that's like, or let's backtrack to show a missing piece that we didn't get a chance to. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Um, man, I don't know. I really don't know what trope. I'm looking at my movies real quick. It's just like Um, I don't know. Tough. You know what? I'll try.
I just think I, I just honestly I just think that when it comes down to it, they already know how the movie's going to end.
Right.
So just take us from the beginning to the ending. How hard is that?
All right. Then. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think X would have been just fine without that opening. Like, but like the
I
thing is,
I,
it's not. It's
I
not so
love
much.
Dex. Like I said,
I don't mind. Like, to me, that I think that's one of the ones that was done well. Is because you don't know who's under which sheet and stuff like that. It's like, and
right?
like, and the thing is like I wasn't expecting the Jenna Ortega character to get killed. I thought she might have been like one of the, might have been a survivor at the point, but it's like, oh crap, you know. But like I do like, if like I mentioned a minute ago, the mystery. Like if there was some, like if the mystery is so big that it really encompasses, like, oh, we just saw the ending, like we just saw the aftermath. Like, let's get to how we got to this point, which is fine. I really like that. But like if we're just gonna backtrack, like, oh, we just saw like the main dude get his head blown off, and then 20 minutes, like rewind 20 minutes later, it's like, oh, okay, we know he's gonna die. Why am I invested in this dude? Like, why are we like,
Exactly.
unless there's like a huge twist that the dude who we think is, like, say, just a hypothetical, like the dude who got his head blown off isn't actually the bad guy. He's just some in it. He's just
No,
some.
I get that, but still, I could still just take it from the beginning to the end and have a better enjoyment than having to watch the guy get his head blown off and then
Right.
go, okay, oh, well, it's not the bad guy.
I get it. I'll have to think on that truck. Oh, Slimer. Is that Slimer?
Yep.
Where'd you get that from? Oh, yeah. Um,
this came out back when Funko's minifigures were like big mini mystery,
oh,
the horror mini mystery ones.
okay. All right.
See, because I also
I
got
yeah,
Good
oh,
Evening.
oh, that's cool. Good news. Yeah, Alfred.
It's Hitch with a Crow, and Reagan is here, and I've I got like four of these.
Poor old man. That's funny.
Yeah, and Jaws and The Shining, and
That's cool. I always I probably should have picked up a couple for myself when that came out. They even had some blind boxes or blind bags this year that I should have probably grabbed, but I didn't like the people in them too much. I'm like, I was like only one or two I would have wanted, and my luck, I would have gotten like the least favorite. I probably would have gotten Megan out of them. Like, I don't mind that movie, but I don't want that in my room, if that makes sense.
that was actually a really good. I was surprised how good that movie was.
Same. I really agree. I actually enjoyed that more than I thought I would. So, but anyways, I definitely got to go.
Definitely got to go. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Echo, for popping in and chiming.
Yeah, your lazy Sunday cost you a little bit of our live, but thank you for dropping in. I think my friend Spencer, he chimed in on Messenger, which I saw the pop up on my screen. So he said he did mention that he liked your views. I don't know which one, what he was referring to, but I'll find out what he was talking about and let you know off camera. So, but yeah, I am Brother Max. We got the
I'm the
13th,
13th Wolf, man.
and we are the Film Fiends, and hopefully everything seems to be calming down, and we'll
Yeah.
hopefully get back to like, or at least our monthly show, like
We should
um
do, we should at least try to do at least one a month, if
yeah,
anything. You know, I mean,
Thanksgiving.
I understand. I understand that you got the wife and life going on. So
Maybe
You know,
we'll think of some like Halloween, some like. Did we ever talk about Thanksgiving yet?
I think you. I'm not sure if we talked about it as a Film Fiends thing, but I know we talked about it as a friends thing.
Okay, so maybe we'll kind of we'll maybe we'll find some other Halloween, like just Thanksgiving themed horror movies.
Thanksgiving ones.
Yeah, or Thanksgiving in general, since like planes, trains, and automobiles is like one of my favorite Thanksgiving movies.
Ah, well,
So,
someone's got to like it.
all right, we're ending the air on that one. So, see y'all later. Thank you, and please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you, everybody, and bye.
And I'm on the prowl.